Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you. It's Pioneer Day Eve for all those who celebrate.
Ooh, I can't wait to wake up in the morning. Oh, we don't get to open gifts, do we?
No, but that brings up a great point. I didn't grow up in this valley my entire childhood, right? You spent, well, no, we've both been here about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
We have spent our adult lives here, 23 years now for me, 20-something years for you. We've got Utah children now.
Yeah.
We got my Utah citizenship officially a couple weeks ago. That was great.
Oh, good.
In a closed ceremony.
How many years did it take to get that?
I had to pay my way in, but I had a couple of Utah anchor babies before. So I had it in, man. I was staying. So I don't know what the traditions are for those out there. I just know the ones that we've done. Fireworks are a big part of it. It's a big one for our neighborhood. Fireworks are the biggest thing. It's bigger than 4th of July in my neighborhood, okay?
There's the parade.
The parade, which one? The big one in Salt Lake. You can do the rodeo, obviously.
Go to the rodeo, Days of 47 tomorrow night.
So all of those themes are there.
And then there's those who don't celebrate Pioneer Day, but they celebrate Pie and Beer Day.
That's right. The counterculture answer to...
I don't mind participating in the pie part.
Yeah, listen. I think we all could...
How about some pie and a root beer?
Can
we do that on Pioneer Day?
Absolutely. So
let's all have pie.
Whatever your traditions are out there, you can share them with us.
Any tradition that involves pie, I'm all for.
You hit us with your... tell us what your traditions are on the 24th. If it's something that varies or if it's something that's different. I want just a little bit of... We have a party on my neighborhood. We have a giant party. Yep. We got food trucks coming out. We got fireworks. We've got...
Most neighborhoods are waiting until Friday to do it this year, though.
We're doing Friday, too.
Yeah.
Why,
So's
though?
ours.
Why?
Because it's the weekend?
Yeah, but Thursday's the day off.
Mark? I don't know.
Because, I'm going to be rushing my butt out of here tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. The day after to get back to my neighborhood party. And I hope I don't miss it. I hope the grilled cheese truck is still there. By the way, just like the
it's going to be a long line.
I know. Just like the Pioneers celebrated the grilled cheese truck. They had them. It was a grilled cheese wagon back then, but
there were food trucks here in the valley when they got
wagons.
Here. That's why. That's why Brigham Young said this is the right place.
Get your dysentery here. All right. Then everything just turns into the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
All right. Our show is brought to you by G2G Bars. All natural ingredients and no preservatives make the G2G Bar the perfect protein bar. I love the celebration of Pioneer Day, though. It's awesome.
It's great.
It's unique to us. That's what I love about it. I love being able to explain to the kids, no, your aunts and uncles that live in other states, they don't get this day, man. They don't get a fun day like this. So let's kick things off here. It's just like, just like they celebrated back in the day. Pioneer Day Eve. We'll see what kind of amazing gifts that we can bring you this show. We've got tons to talk about.
What gifts are under the wagon today?
There's a lot to discuss here, and I do have some fun Pioneer Day themed top 10s and or would you rather.
Sweet.
So you don't want to miss any of it. So here we go. We're going to kick out the program as we always do. Let's jump in talking about one of our favorite topics. And, of course, it's college football. This is a very historic day right now, too. I say historic. It's a landmark day, at least for the 2025 season. So let's kick things off here with the cut.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We do this a lot, JJ, in our profession. We talk about what it would mean to be a quote-unquote success in a season. And some of those years and some of the perspective that might give you that background is it's a weird spot that some fan bases are trying to describe what their version of a successful season would look like. This portion of the show, by the way, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, TRAJANwealth.com. If you're looking for your financial needs to be met in retirement, they're going to help you right there, TrajanWealth.com. So when it comes to the perspective that I'm talking about, when it comes to what you want out of your team and not just what you are hoping for. I think it is also important to hope for those things. When we ask players at Big 12 Media Days, the question, hey, what do you guys want to accomplish this year? What are your goals? They shy away from the goals discussion because that's personal a lot of times.
Right.
Or they don't want people to know what their team goals are inside. But the other thing is that you don't meet anybody at these – it's rare that you meet somebody at these conference championship games or these conference media days and someone says, yeah, we hope that we don't get that we win a couple of conference games. You know what I mean? Like
we hope we have less injuries than last year.
I think that these guys really do buy in. I think it's delusional, obviously, for some teams.
Sure.
Like, can Oklahoma State make a case that they could be a conference contender by the end of the season?
You have to be delusional to play sports.
Yeah.
You have to believe that you are the best. You have to believe that your team can win a championship. It's expected to be delusional. It's okay to be delusional, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's got to drive and motivate you. So, yeah, there's only 1, 2, 3. You know, the Big 12 is different because we've talked about this, and I feel like going through a list, I think there's 8 teams that could win it this year. I really do.
That's a great discussion to have, yeah.
The fact that there's so much roster turnover nowadays, and we saw that last year, and that's why we don't have preseason polls anymore, and I totally get it because, you know, we the 1660 that we did with Hanson Scotty, I did that last year. I was like, this is impossible. I don't know anything about some of these guys because the transfer portal, and I know that there's some guys coming in the transfer portal that should be on this list that aren't because the coach isn't going to throw some kid that hasn't even been to spring football on their transfer.
Or they're not allowed to talk about them. Like, that's the other thing. They sit down with them early and they go,
so, and how in the world,
he's not with the program,
with Utah State not wanting anybody to know about the 86 players that are now part of their program that weren't last year, how do you know anything about those guys? So we now live in an era of college football where it's more unpredictable than ever before. So trying to predict or trying to have expectations is pretty hard, and I say that's okay. I say that's fun. We have no idea. We have no idea. Now, the SEC and the Big Ten are more predictable, but I think that the Big 12 is wide open, and I think that's what's going to make the conference really exciting this year. And I think there is also some unpredictability in the ACC as well. So college football is more unpredictable and more full of surprises than it's ever been, which makes it really hard to predict things. But it also means, like you're saying, some of these players can be as delusional as they want because why not? Why not them?
Yeah. We are 30 days away today, by the way, JJ, from week 0. So, I mean, celebrate week 0 however you do. If your team's not playing in it, and the handful of games that are there usually are pretty meh.
Well,
but you do have a conference. You have a conference matchup, though. Farmageddon is being played over in Ireland. Yes? Iowa State, Kansas State is week 0 in Ireland. Which, by the way, I kind of made fun of when the Ireland like tour council was like there at Big 12 Media Days. Did you see him walking around?
Yeah.
The like Pop-Tart guy was like laughing, making fun of him, pushing him around. And they have this thing. And then there was this little part of me that went, oh, that might be a cool trip. Maybe it's because who did we talk to? Somebody who covered that. Oh, it wasn't Zemek. It was Pete Futak.
Yeah.
Pete Futak was like, dude, you guys, look, Iowa State and Kansas State, we don't look at that as a game that we are going to hang our hat on, but you guys should get over there and like do the whole thing.
If BYU played Notre Dame in Ireland, BYU fans would be flooding.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
The airlines and all the booking hotels in Ireland to go watch it.
So I do think that there are things that teams do need to focus on. I think that as fan bases, you should probably set your sights high. Why not? Don't be the guy who just says, yeah, dude, I think we can win every game. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the reality of it, but I do think, and JJ and I have put together a little something, which is going to be, this is not bold predictions. It kind of borders on that because I'm not living in reality in some of these that I put up. I don't know how you did it, but
don't need to.
I didn't live in reality on mine because I think that the wish list speaks for what it is, which is, man, if that thing happens, how pumped would you be if you're in that fan base? How pumped would we be to cover these teams inside this market, right? And I'm not just talking about the Big 12. So here are a couple that I'm throwing out there that were a little bit more on the facetious side. Return of the wishbone to the Big 12. That we talked about. I think that
which school are you going to force to run it?
You have Boz come back. He waves. He does a
Which
ceremonial.
Which school? Iowa State? Who has to run
No,
it?
it's got to be Oklahoma State, and
Okay, yeah.
it's got to be like Oklahoma State, and and Iowa State maybe, or Kansas State. You know what I mean? Like just two teams that you can picture people in neck rolls all the time in those uniforms, right? Yeah. On both sides of the ball. Greg Sankey goes to a Coldplay concert, and we see him there. So that's just a personal one that I wanted to see. It's just Greg Sankey.
Holding who?
I didn't say there was anything nefarious with it. I just want to see him there. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
he has to get caught with somebody.
Yes, it's
Nick Saban,
him, Sankey, and Petiti.
Oh.
Then they dive bomb out of that picture. No, we're at odds still. We can't go over the college football playoff
I don't think
format.
those two guys would go anywhere together.
No. But that's what makes it fun. Okay, here are my real ones. You ready? The Big 12 and or the ACC. I know the and part is very, very difficult to come across because even the Big 12 or the ACC, somebody's got to get 3 teams in the college football playoff. That's a tall freaking ask. It's a tall ask.
The Big 12 didn't even get 2 last year.
Hear me out.
How?
Okay? If you have 2 teams who are 1 loss going into that Big 12 championship game, and then you've got another that's a 2-loss team that was not even invited to that thing. Okay? You said yourself there's 8 teams in the running for a championship. If that's the case, things might line up for there to be 2 1-loss teams and 1 2-loss team that could end up in that top 13, top 11, and then you've got 2 that you can't deny an 11-2 just lost in the Big 12 championship. I mean, they would, and I know that this is difficult, but listen, the ACC, who did they have in last year? The way that you could backdoor in with the ACC or the Big 12 could do this too. Your champion is that 2-loss team or the 3-loss team, and then your others are the 1-loss or 2-loss teams that are at the end of everything. So the math can work out. The things that need to happen with this is a weak year from the Big 12, or from the Big 10 and or the SEC, which you could have. You really could have. Is Kalen DeBoer suddenly going to turn everything around and go, I think I figured it out? Maybe, but he's no Nick Saban, so we'll see what they do there. I don't know how long you can be that top-heavy in the SEC as Texas is good. Is Arch Manning going to facilitate getting to the college football playoff immediately? You know what I mean? In year 1. And I know this is a lot of relying on it, but I'm telling you, I want somebody other than the SEC and the Big 10 to get 3 teams in. And I know that's a tall order. It probably means that you would have to have only 2 get in from either one of those other big leagues, which is a hard thing to do too. Again, wish list, all right? Because I want there to be right before they go into extra teams into the college football playoff, it would be phenomenal. Again, wish list, probably not going to happen, but I like the idea. Strawberry flavored or s'mores themed Cougar Tail release at LaVell Edwards Stadium.
What are the options?
Strawberry flavor on the top, because you've already done the vanilla, they've already done the chocolate, they've already done the maple. Give me like a nice strawberry or a s'mores themed one. Where
Well, I would go s'mores for
Okay.
sure, but I want bacon on one of those things.
Okay, I don't hate it. Write it down. It's part of the wish list. BYU and Utah both finishing in the top 4 in the Big 12 standings. Is that possible?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Both BYU and Utah ranked when they play October 18th.
Also possible.
That would be
If Utah beats Texas Tech
phenomenal.
and if BYU's undefeated at that point, why not?
Bryson Barnes, first team Mountain West.
Ooh.
Name another quarterback in the Mountain West. I don't know who there is. Part of it is because I don't know the Mountain West very
Can't
well.
do it.
But I'm telling you, the effusive, gushing, everybody loves Bryson Barnes, even though Bronco Mendenhall won't effuse about anything or be positive about anything. I think Bryson Barnes is going to surprise some people. That guy, I listened to DJ today, and he brought this up, and he goes, because I had this in my mind where I was like, you know what? I think Bryson Barnes is set up here. This is last year, right? Has to be.
Yeah, he's done
last
this year.
Okay.
Maddox Madsen, former American Fork
Okay.
quarterback,
Boise State quarterback, obviously.
is the preseason Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year.
But I think we all looked at Maddox Madsen and we were like, man, that's a good thing that guy has Ashton Jeanty, right?
Sure.
Very young. and talented for sure.
But he's a lot more experienced now.
Yeah, and you've got a great team. Obviously, they've got a solid.
Yeah.
Boise is going to be very, very tough to beat, and obviously they have solid quarterback play. But you could get an 8-win season out of Bryson Barnes, and I think that would put him in that spot where he gets a couple of those Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week awards because he rushes for 211 yards against fill in the blank in the Mountain West. San Jose State, I'm looking at you, right? So what I'm saying is, again, wish list. All right. BYU starts one quarterback all season long. I laugh because
is a wish.
I feel like we've never seen it.
That is on a wish list.
Now, hold on a minute. Did Jake Retzlaff start every game?
He did.
Last year?
Yes, he did.
We
never saw Gary Bohannon except in mop-up duty.
We did not talk about that enough because BYU never gets through a season with one quarterback starting every game.
That's why they went 11-2.
Okay?
When they do, they usually have success.
So whoever wins the job, and it's less about not getting injured to me, JJ, on this. It's throw injuries out. That could be a part of it. We don't like that part, and that always adds up to why you could have guys missing out. But what I don't want there to be is this back and forth, like, I don't know, maybe we throw the other guy in. Hey, throw Bear in too. Why not? While we're at it, it's not working. Yeah, that's the worst case scenario for A-Rod in that offense. And then listen to these two stats. Devin Dampier, 65% passing percentage. Do you know what his was last year?
It was in the 50s, right?
Is in the 50s.
Yeah.
Not good. 12 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Not a good ratio.
No, 1-to-1 is not good.
And everybody looks at those rushing stats, and it makes up for it, right? Because he accounted for how many? Like 30-something touchdowns overall because he ran for 19, I think.
19 and 12, so 31.
Yeah, so he had 31 touchdowns, but 12 of them were in the air, and he threw 12 picks on top of it. So everybody wants to see that. 65% passing percentage would have Kyle Whittingham with a tear shed on the sidelines because his QBR is going to be through the freaking roof, man. And if you get efficient quarterback play, you're going to have a Utah team you better be freaking afraid of. I don't know where it comes from, but maybe this is the year for the 1,000-yard wide receiver at Utah. Maybe that's how Devin Dampier gets to that. That's a lot to ask because half the guys you don't even know.
I couldn't even tell you who that would be. And that would be, of all the years to have that happen.
I know, but all the years that we have all the big names that we've heard of and they don't get anywhere near it.
Their best receiver left after spring to go to USC.
So why not have it be a guy that you've never heard of with a quarterback who's never played there?
That would be wild.
Why not? Hey, it's the wish list. That's why. We're asking Robin Williams, as the genie for all these different wishes, okay? These aren't even predictions. These are absolute wishes. Now, this one could very well be pulled off. 1,000-yard rusher at BYU.
Oh, yeah. LJ could do that this year. Especially, that would help the quarterback situation tremendously.
And I think it would mean two things. Not just that he's great as a running back because he's healthy now, right? But it also means, and this is no knock on Sione Moa, but it means that they're handing that ball off to LJ Martin because he's your guy. Yeah. Instead of doing the split duty thing, instead of living in a world where, well, he's a little bit banged up. Well, they're a little bit banged up. Well, I don't think he's going to go. How many games, JJ, over the past decade have you and I watched of BYU? Utah, the same thing where it's like, oh, I guess they're not warming up. He looks like he's in a boot. Oh, is he in street clothes?
So tired of that.
Mitch Harper tweeting out, so-and-so's in street clothes. Okay.
Or the Cam Rising, how is he throwing today?
The Washington State game back in 22, the second Rose Bowl year, right? When it was 5 minutes before the game that Bryson Barnes
they didn't even tell the network
out and starts,
it was broadcasting the game.
Oh, that's right. Fox was like...
They were so
mad.
I
forgot about that. That's right. Because then you got, what's his name?
They showed Cam Rising on the screen, and then they go down to Penn, and it's Bryson Barnes in the huddle.
What's his name?
Oh, boy.
Papadakis. What was his name?
Yeah.
Petros Papadakis. He gets on there and goes, and this other guy... Well, that's not Cam Rising. And then everyone's like, well, let's check the notes here. We're going to have an intern. We're getting a look here. Somebody's got binoculars that does not look like Cam Rising. It's like, oh, my goodness. So those are the kind of things that ruin your season. All right. Wish list items for you, JJ.
Okay.
On the 2025 season.
I've got some. How about BYU and Utah in the Big 12 championship game?
Wild.
in a rematch.
I thought that the undefeated matchup, or not undefeated, but the both ranked matchup in the regular season was phenomenal.
Well, we can have that, and then we can.
Why not?
We can have our cake
Probably
and eat it too.
that's probably how you get there, right?
So there you go. 2 teams from the Big 12 make the college football playoff. I'm not greedy enough to say 3. I don't think that's possible. Got to get baby steps here going, and baby steps would be 2
no
teams
time for
from the
baby
Big 12.
steps, JJ. No time.
Utah State shocking everybody and getting 8 games in the win column this year.
You and I did not collaborate on these lists, by
No,
the
we
way,
didn't.
right?
No, we did not.
But what I say, if Bryson Barnes gets there and he does something phenomenal, I bet they win 8 games. It'd be amazing.
It would be the most Bronco thing ever.
Of course.
The SEC gets shut out of the national championship game again.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Screw you, SEC. And here's another one. Ohio State misses the college football playoff.
Misses the whole playoff?
It's not a prediction. That's a wish.
Yeah.
I want new blood. I want a new
Yeah.
champion, and I'm sick of Ohio State basically buying their way in, right? Because that's what they've done. And they don't have a quarterback right now. They have 3 guys that you've never heard of. I think that's a problem for them. I really do. Spencer Fano wins the Outland Trophy.
Okay. That's like,
We haven't had an Outland Trophy winner in the state in a long, long time, and he is the number 1 ranked offensive tackle in the country. And sometimes they lean defensive tackles, guys in the trenches, when they're picking this award. Obviously, all the guys are in the trenches, but you know what I mean, on the other side of the ball. But there are plenty of offensive linemen that have won this award, including Moelo Anibi at BYU. Why not? Spencer Fano winning the Outland Trophy would be a wish on the wish list. Devin Dampier, 25-10. Touchdown to interception ratio. If he does that, Utah can win the Big 12 championship. LJ Martin also I had down as a 1,000-yard season. I think that's key for BYU. They had a gunslinger last year that got things done at the quarterback position. I think this year they're going to really have to lean on a running back because LJ Martin is really darn good, and if he's healthy right now, I think they really do like their offensive line. I think that's going to come together nicely for them. And a 1,000-yard year from LJ Martin would mean a lot of BYU wins. And here's one that might take the cake of the most wishiest of the wish list. A BYU player with 10-plus sacks.
that's crazy.
Do you know how long it's been?
I was going to say, that's crazy that would be the thing that you go, from a numbers perspective, this is the wildest reach. But BYU getting 10
But they've got
sacks out of
some
one
dudes
guy.
on that team
They
that
really
could
do.
finally do this.
They really do.
It's been since 2015, 10 years. BYU's gone a decade without somebody get 10-plus sacks. That was Bronson Kafusi back in 2015.
So
he had 11.
Yeah, and if people were thinking to themselves, well, I thought Tyler Batty had a bunch of sacks, and you're like, he was very effective on that defensive line. It didn't always equate to sacks. I don't even know how many he had last year, but it was less than 5. I think it was less than 4.
Well, wasn't it as a team?
They were
2 or 3 years ago. They didn't even have double digit.
Number 1 defense in the Big 12, second to last in sacks.
Yeah.
In the conference. And everybody knows that's kind of been an issue, right? They just haven't been able to get a guy there.
And
now,
it was less of an issue last year because they made so many great plays on the back end, so many tackles for loss.
so do you make the adjustments so that the linebacking core, like your Jack Kellys, get around that corner and turn into KVN maybe in his last year at BYU? I don't know.
Nobody's more frustrated by this than Jay Hill, and he's trying to fix it and trying to get that guy that can do that because you see what Utah's been able to do. And at Weber State, he was able to do this, find guys that could get to the quarterback. It's just a matter of time, and I think this year would be interesting if it's finally the year that somebody breaks through. And they've got, obviously, 2 All-American candidates at linebacker that might be able to pull that off. Yeah, 10-plus sacks by a BYU player for the first time in a decade would be on the wish list, I think, for a lot of BYU fans.
Well, I do think that all the things that we mentioned there, they all are very, what did you call it? The wishiest of wishy lists?
They are very lofty goals.
There are things in there. Like, we wouldn't touch these with our bold predictions. You know what I mean? Like, a couple in there. I think the 1,000-yard rusher, with LJ Martin, that could qualify as, you know what? Absolutely. That could be a bold prediction. But the ones where you're going, you're relying so much on so many factors that have ruined, injuries have just absolutely ruined Utah's seasons the past 2 years, right? And
specifically to the quarterback,
or injury, or even in the Rose Bowl games. Think about both Rose Bowls getting ruined in a way. I mean, I know Bryson Barnes came in and threw a touchdown and made that thing close, and it was. But I'm telling you, like, he didn't avoid any big games. Cam Rising, I'm saying, without an injury present.
It's true.
Rose Bowls. I mean, he won Big 12. He won the Pac-12 championships, and that was amazing. You think about
He played hurt in the USC game.
the 42-43 game.
He was hurt in that
against USC.
game.
Phenomenal, right? And then you think about what it meant when he wasn't there. And I think Devin Dampier is going to be something special. Somebody asked me about that. I was golfing with somebody and he had that conversation. He goes, "What's Utah going to be like?" And it was like definitely nervous Utah fan.
Yeah.
I go, Devin Dampier is going to be good. Everybody thinks he's amazing. Everybody. And I it's great for the conference. It's great to have Utah back. And we've been asking for this, right? That there would be, you need to be a little bit more like the other leagues where it's top heavy. You need a dominant 2 or 3 teams. Why not have them both be from the state of Utah?
Why not?
Selfish.
Why can't BYU and Utah run this league? Why not?
Right. Yeah. Okay. We'll take a break here. We've got more to go around the corner. When we return, we got lots to jump into, lots to talk about still. I do have, at the end of the hour here, a Would You Rather, a Pioneer Day themed Would You Rather. Coming up, stay with us, 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone. This has a vibe, like a baseball vibe to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Guess what? We wouldn't be celebrating Pioneer Day without baseball rumors swirling around. Isn't the Pioneer League, isn't that still the yeah, man. Come on. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. I can be center field. That's ambitious, by the way, if you're like
It's John Fogerty, you know.
I know, but if you're a fringe baseball guy and you're like,
Put me in, coach.
I'm
ready
on
to
the
play.
bench. I know. Maybe right field's the right thing to ask coach about. Center field's too important. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Put me at shortstop immediately. It's like, no. We don't need you at shortstop. We need you over in right field. What's that? In Little League, they got that rover in the middle that's kind of a half.
Yeah, they just throw a kid out there somewhere and just tell him to run around.
Yeah. And they hope that the ball maybe just hits him in the shin and that knocks it down a base
weeds, buddy.
Well, why are we talking about baseball? Because one throwaway line by a baseball insider from USA Today, and by the way, this is a guy that we've had on the program before. Bob Nightingale writes for USA Today, and again, this one throwaway line, because we are nothing if not absolute. Like, did you mention us? Did you mention me? Utah wants to be mentioned. Salt Lake City wants to be mentioned. And you have an interesting thing because obviously Big League Utah is still an organization that is still operating. It's not just a welcome party, it's a way of life, JJ.
Yes.
And obviously you want to be looked at and still considered. You got to put your name out there, keep it out there. The Miller family and the Miller group is dead set on this happening. And Bob Nightingale, you explain it, because we're reading this thing and I was like, where is this that he even said this in this article? And the article has nothing to do with expansion.
I mean, you really have to be searching to find this. Not to make it sound insignificant. It's very significant. But Bob Nightingale writes a column for USA Today, and he's focusing on a lot of the stuff that's hot in the league right now. The second half is underway. Trade deadline's coming up. Are the Tigers legit World Series contenders? The Brewers run, all those kind of things, right? So he goes through like 10 little things about what's currently going on in Major League Baseball, right? He ends it with could the Milwaukee Brewers win the NL Central once again, yada, yada. Well, and then it goes more, can Blue Jays win the AL East? You get my point.
Yes.
So we're going down. I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling. I'm at number 12. I'm number 13. You get to number 14. Will the Marlins trade Sandy Alcantara? Nobody cares about the Marlins. Marlins fans don't even care. 15, 16. Okay, I'm still going. This is crazy.
Again,
I'm still going. Finally, I get down to the bottom of this thing. Oh, there's this little thing called around the base paths. And then I start reading it. The Athletics have told teams they're wasting their time by even calling. They're not trading closer Mason Miller. Okay. I mean, Athletics fans, all 10 of you probably care about that. But again, this is a major little nugget he has here, and it's buried at the 4th spot and is around the base pass part of this column. He says Major League Baseball believes The strongest two expansion markets remain Salt Lake City, Utah, and Nashville, with no plans to put an expansion franchise back into Oakland.
By the way,
why is that down at the bottom of your article, buddy?
I think there are two things going on here.
That's a big deal here, and that's a big deal around the league to say that there are two places that are emerging right now as favorites when it's time to expand. That people in Major League Baseball are discussing this.
It wasn't, hey, I think that these two cities are the two.
You buried the lead.
It was Major League Baseball believes that Salt Lake City and Nashville are the two strongest candidates for expansion. Now, part of the reason it's at the bottom of that article is because...
Well, thanks for throwing that. Now let's get back to the Diamondbacks.
Anyway, I want to talk more about the Marlins. Woo!
Let's talk more about top prospect Jordan Lawler.
I know. Listen.
Wait, how did you gloss over that? Why is this buried in here?
Isn't it because expansion is so far away still?
That's why.
And the good news is you and I both have kind of saw this, and I think when we've talked to people about this, Rob Manfred wants to make his legacy kind of set. And the way you can do that is you can have your cities, you can have your teams, right? And, I guess if you looked at it and you say, who are the baseball commissioners in years past? You think about Bud Selig, think about the teams that were added during his time frame, right? The Marlins, the Diamondbacks, right? Am I getting that right? Wasn't that during Bud Selig's time frame? Am I even getting the right commissioner down in my mind? I'm going, am I getting NFL and Major League Baseball mixed up? No.
He was the commissioner in 1998, and 1998 is the last time we had an expansion. That was the Arizona Diamondbacks
in '93,
and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. And by the way, the Diamondbacks won a World Series 3 years later.
And the Marlins were '93, right? Were the Marlins '93?
Marlins and Rockies were '93,
and I think that was probably during his time frame also, right?
Yeah.
So he added 4 teams during his tenure. May he rest. Is he still with us? I know. Gosh, we hardly knew you, Bud Selig. No, but I think that Rob Manfred, and you pointed this out in our pre-show.
Bud Selig was the acting commissioner in '93. Fay Vincent resigned in September of 1992, but I believe the announcements for the Rockies and the Marlins happened during.
Probably prior to that, right. But look, everybody goes, hey,
but
I
your point is
teams.
valid. Yeah, there was a lot that happened in the '90s, but it's been very quiet ever since, other than the Montreal Expos moving to Washington.
And the Expos franchise, man, you think about that 94 Expos team should have been in the
they probably would have
right?
won the World Series that year. They were very, very good.
The strike shortened season, which by the way, as a kid, we
could have changed their franchise.
We used to go to baseball games with those scabs playing Major League Baseball. We used to go for $1.
Really?
To Arlington Stadium in Texas.
Nice.
We go for $1. Oh my goodness. And if you are Rob Manfred, getting out, he wants to be out by when? When does he want to be done?
2029.
And if that's the case, we're still talking 4 years away. You have to still make yourself significant over that 4 years. If you're Utah, if you are Big League Utah, if you're Salt Lake City, and if the Power District is going to stay relevant, I'm interested to see how they do it over the next 4 years to keep that interest. We turned shovels over, JJ, in a ceremony. Remember this? We watched this thing where they turned shovels over.
That's how far this process is in.
I think that being able to show Major League Baseball possibly 8 years before an expansion announcement is even made, that they turned the shovels over when? In 23? Wasn't that when that happened, or was it last year? I want to say it was even further than last year. I don't know, but I just remember that we're pretty far away from that process. And by the way, you see the other cities that aren't mentioned on this, and that's as significant as Salt Lake City getting mentioned about the expansion. Portland not being in that discussion is a big deal. I don't know what other cities have been considered before. I think that there are Oklahoma City. There was a discussion at one point there. Obviously, when you have a successful
Montreal and Oakland are going to come up.
That's going to come back up again.
Yeah.
And I don't hate the idea of Montreal getting a team again. I think that it's important that baseball does expand. How many teams do they have right now? 32?
30.
30? Get to 32. Come on.
Yeah.
You want to get there.
That's
Anyway.
what they want. And One in the East, one in the West would make a lot of sense.
And Nashville speaks for itself, right? I mean, that's a city that's got a lot. Everybody, it's so sexy to say, hey, I'm moving a team to Nashville.
Those two places have something in common: economic growth.
Yeah.
Nashville's hot. Salt Lake is hot. That's where the money is, and that's where Major League Baseball wants to be. So there's just so many factors that come into play that make Salt Lake City, Utah in general, a destination for Major League Baseball. You've got everything. It checks all the boxes, and you've got an owner that's shovel-ready for a stadium and public funding ready for it as well. And that's the biggest hurdle, right?
Well, so again,
everything is ready to go. All Major League Baseball has to do is wave their magic wand.
A throwaway line at the bottom of a USA Today article that basically that becomes for us like a major piece of news where we go, did you say it? Did you say Salt Lake again?
Bob is as connected as anybody that covers Major League Baseball, and the only reason it's buried down like that is because it's not going to happen tomorrow.
It's so long from now.
But that is and I've talked to people I've talked to people around the situation and people within the Larry H. Miller Company. They don't know anything, but they feel very confident. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
They feel very confident that when the time comes, the selection will be obvious.
You need Steve Starks to start being best friends with Rob Manfred, like Ryan Smith and Commissioner Gary Bettman had that blooming romance that got Utah.
Steve's trying.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and look, no commissioner of any sport is as like hilariously weird as Gary Bettman is when he's like, Ryan, Ashley, you convinced me in that first meeting that we should actually absolutely get together and bring the franchise here, and I've just been amazed by what you've done over this time. Like, and you're like, geez. And everything that they had, he would show up to every milestone, right? It's like, make the announcement, boom. The team shows up, boom. First NHL draft, boom. Like,
new logo, new name.
I'm here for all of it, right? And so
you could say this has been a mammoth.
Oh my gosh. And we all were like, oh, fine, we'll let you get away with it because you're talking about the team that's here. But we'll see. Baseball is in a weird spot right now, too, because over the next 4 years, what does a TV contract look like?
Baseball's in a weird place right now.
It's strange because you've got some of the highest paid athletes in the history of the world playing that sport.
Where's the revenue going to come from without the TV contract?
So when ESPN goes, dude, we're breaking up. And then you go, oh, how's this going to work? And so for this to work, just expanding, all you're doing is diluting those franchises and the field there. Now you bring inventory to the TV side of things.
You're not diluting it because someone has to pay an expansion fee.
Oh, and I wonder what it's a 2029 expansion fee to Major League Baseball. Good luck out there. Good.
Again, it's going to eliminate a lot of folks. Not the Larry H. Miller Company. They're ready.
What was the NBA rumored to have, like, for an expansion fee?
Wasn't it $2 billion?
Was it over $2 billion? It was something nuts like that. Bonkers. All right.
Oh my gosh, it's more than that.
What is it? 5? No.
Between $4 and $7 billion per team.
To expand in the NBA?
That's what the belief is. Obviously, that's
boy.
not.
Hey, Seattle.
Firm, but
hey, Seattle. City Council.
Oh boy.
When you guys didn't want to spend any money to make Key Arena like.
Well, that seems really stupid now, doesn't it?
Now you look at it and you go, what was going on? Because coming up with $4 billion, and in 2029 that'll be 8 or 10, right?
It's like the person in 1996 that decided they weren't going to buy a house until they saved up for the down payment. Hey, buddy, you probably should have pulled the trigger on that.
Oh my goodness!
Probably should have just gone ahead and financed that.
Got my financing lined up. All right, we'll come back. We've got more to go around the corner. I have for you a Pioneer edition of Would You Rather. So stay right here with us. Don't miss it. 97.5 BKSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
Hey, you've heard us talking about so many of the companies that we've partnered with here on VKSL Sports Zone. All across the board, you have hosts who are dedicated to partnering with these awesome companies who we've gotten to know, owners and workers in these factories or whatever it might be. You think about getting to know the folks at Advanced Window Products or whatever. You've heard us talking about Salt Lake City Fat Loss, all those things. When you partner with KSL Sports, when you partner with the KSL Sports Zone, we take your company to a different level. If you want to get that kind of access, you want to get that kind of endorsement from our hosts and from JJ and I specifically, here you go. Text JJ to 57500 and just ask him how to be able to do it. How can you make that thing go? Just text JJ to 57500 and then you can get on board with us here. We'd love to partner with you and your business. We'd love to highlight you. And frankly, you get on the radio, you have success immediately. All right. JJ, I've got a Pioneer themed Would You Rather. Now, you and I were having this discussion. I was like, what? Now, again, because I didn't grow up here as a kid, but obviously I know the background of Pioneer Day. And I've been here 23 years now. I've lived here longer than I have anything else. I married a Utah woman. I have Utah babies. All right. We are absolutely plugged into the Pioneer Day stuff. However, I was like, but what's the food situation? Because all we do is basically hit reset on 4th of July, right?
That's essentially what it is.
It
right?
seems.
We're gonna pretend.
It seems lazy, JJ.
It's just 4th of July too.
Are you saying that our peculiar people, don't have a good food tradition? Are you saying that the funeral potato doesn't really get you up in the morning?
It's a scientific fact.
So I found a list because I was like, is there Pioneer food? And then I you know what? I found a list of Pioneer Day foods. Are you ready for this?
Gross.
And half of these I didn't know that they would be Pioneer Day foods, but here we are.
They may not be food.
Now, I will say that I agree with number one on the list, okay? Very top of the... Now, this is from a Deseret News article from quite some time ago.
1847?
No, but I think that they had to dig into it, okay? So here are some of the foods, all right? Brigham Young, one of his favorite foods is buttermilk donuts. I can get on board.
Buttermilk donuts.
Okay.
Do we serve those today?
I think you can get like a...
Where are
like
we
a,
getting those?
Like a cake donut, like a buttermilk cake donut. I can get that.
Whoa.
We aren't highlighting this enough, right?
How have we been...
Don't know. But...
that sounds great.
I know.
I haven't had one of those.
Straight up, okay? Now, they say that Johnny Cakes is also one that is, again, whatever kind of breakfast cake, a pancake, a Johnny Cake, whatever it is. I don't know if that is a thing. But you can actually make your own butter. They suggest to make your own butter by shaking heavy...
You know what Johnny Cakes are, right?
What is it?
It's just cornmeal flatbread.
Gross.
Similar to a pancake, but it's made out of cornmeal.
Will you stop Googling Johnny Cakes over there?
I had to know. I was like, what the hell is a Johnny Cake?
Here is where lunch gets really sideways. You ready for this?
Oh, boy.
This is a Pioneer lunch, apparently. Be bold and try sauerkraut and noodles for lunch. Using Pioneer-era recipes posted on the Pioneer blog, Plain But Wholesome. Take an egg. Here's the worst ingredient I've ever heard of. You ready for this? Take an egg, eggshell water,
what?
Salt and flour. Mix them up to make some quick noodles before you fry them with some sauerkraut. Sauerkraut and noodles. Have you ever once even heard of that as an item?
Even poor people are like, gross. No thanks.
Even the Depression era people are going, nah, you can have it.
Yeah,
we're fine.
I ain't eating that.
I don't need it.
I haven't had a meal for a week, but I ain't touching that.
Okay, for a lighter lunch, try a cucumber salad. Okay, that sounds about right.
If you really want to lose weight.
With a side of hardtack.
Wait.
Not heart attack, because I'd take heart attack. I don't want hardtack, which is a simple biscuit that pioneers ate on the trail. No thanks. Okay? And again,
it's a cracker.
I've never
it's
had
a hard
any of these.
cracker.
Then
it's
they
made
rolled
from flour, water, and
right.
salt.
Then they rolled.
Gross.
So would you rather have that or the funeral potato? Give me the funeral potato, because that was the option.
I think of all the Pioneer foods,
Okay.
the only one to survive was the funeral potato, because everything else sucks.
Here's the funny thing, too, is that they also, in this article, say that Hawaiian haystacks could also substitute as a meal. I'm like,
oh, I've had many of those.
So have I. But do we look at that and go, hey, your great Aunt Margaret, when she's coming across the plains, made sure to have those crunchy Chinese noodles on top with some crushed pineapples.
You have to have those Chinese noodles on there. You have to have those. And a little diced green onion.
Diced green onion. Some green pepper also on there. Get out of here.
And the cream of mushroom soup or whatever. What do you pour on that thing?
Here's what we've brought to the table that is a little bit better than most. The fried scones with honey butter. All right, that's classic.
Oh, scone cutter.
We hardly knew ye.
Rest in peace.
Dude, scone cutter was as
in college.
Listen, as a fat guy in Provo, I was.
How late were they open?
Till at least
Dude,
2 in the morning.
Scone cutter was
Was
good.
it 24 hours on State Street?
Yeah.
I went, and I was like, what is this? What is the devil fried up for me?
Scone cutter or Beto's? We didn't have 24-hour
Okay.
Taco Bell back in the day, young people.
You could try hasty pudding.
Hasty.
Don't know about it. You look it up.
have to.
Or the applesauce cake.
What?
Yes. Chicken velvet
Sorry,
soup.
hasty what?
Hasty pudding, which makes it sound like you were in a hurry and you made something terrible.
Hasty pudding.
Hasty pudding. Also, like I said, applesauce cake. This sounds chicken velvet soup. Fine, never heard of it, but sure.
Hasty pudding is a dish of grains cooked in milk or water, often sweetened. Has a long history dating back to at least the 16th century in British cuisine.
I'm gonna stick with the Traeger getting fired up and eating some ribs. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna start my own tradition.
How about this one? Skillet Hasselbeck sweet potatoes with a side of Mormon gravy.
Whoa.
I'm offended right now.
Mormon gravy.
I'm offended right now. I don't know what that is. I've never had it. And I'm a lifelong.
Mormon gravy is a simple, hearty gravy traditionally made with meat drippings, flour, and milk, seasoned with salt, pepper, and sometimes paprika.
Look, throw some.
Not too much, though. We don't want to taste it.
Throw some sausage in there and just call it
Not
biscuits.
too spicy. Gotta be bland.
Biscuits and hardtack.
Classic example of comfort food,
right.
often found in the Mormon cultural region.
Listen, Mormon gravy was not something I thought I was going to hear.
Mormon gravy
I
is
thought I was going to hear on the show
comfort
today.
food.
Sure.
Gross.
Get yourself some hardtack and some Mormon gravy. Come on.
Little beef drippings
I'm
in
just
there.
telling you. If we're going to
Better
have
drippings than droppings.
Yeah. Just get me to the smoked meats, man. That's all we need to do. So there you go. I had no idea about half of those foods, by the way. Did you?
No.
And we grew up knowing
we
about
should
this
know
culture.
About
Okay?
foods within the faith. That ain't it.
You know what,
that
JJ?
ain't it.
JJ, you and I have a book to write. It's called Foods in the Faith.
Foods in the faith. At your nearest Deseret book.
I know. We are gonna fire that thing
Hey,
up.
Sherry do. I have an idea
I know.
for you.
Let's do it. Foods in the Faith. Hi, I'm Jeremiah Jensen. We go on Studio 5. No, it's great. What you've got here is the chicken velvet soup. All right. We'll take a break. We've got more to go around the corner.
Hey, Brooke, can we come on Studio 5?
Please.
Talk about foods and faith.
Can we pitch our foods of faith? We've got more to go when we come back. We've got some things to jump into this next hour that are going to be very fun. Jake Shapiro, he writes for DenverSports.com, one of our sibling stations across the mountains there. We're going to talk Colorado football, and we'll talk some other things in there, too, because he covers all of it. So why not? Got a Bronco guy here in the room.
That's right.
Ask him about everything.
I have some questions.
Stay here. More to go. 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.